because it's a part of my legacy and it's a part of who I am and it's a part of my upbringing. It's a part of my everything. I also just want to be great. I don't think anybody really wants to fail when they really love doing something. And I've chosen music to be my career path, so I'm gonna stand by it and work as hard as possible to make sure that happens. You know what I mean? What kind of podcast is this? We're going deep.
Prochaine station.
Lowkey MTL.
Whoa. Scene.
Hey, this gave me nostalgia from last night.
Yo, can I tell you?
The opening.
Bro, holy. Me being like, I'm only going to stay there until 9. Not getting there.
And then you're at the next spot and you're telling me, you're like, there's the next spot. And I was like, oh, what?
Bro, and then we went back to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to Yannick's place, which was like right around the corner. And then we went back to the bar. And it was just like, it was actually a vibe, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was having a great time. But
When'd you get to bed?
Huh?
When'd you get to bed?
I got back to I'm staying with them. I got back to the spot at like 3 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, I walked there. It was like a 30-minute walk.
But that's what's blessed about Montreal, because you said you're from, we're
podcast,
rolling, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, it's on.
But yeah, I like to just start it like with the flow of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you said you were from Toronto, but you're not born and raised Toronto, right?
Mm-hmm. So the story is I was born in London, Ontario, which is 2 hours away from Toronto.
Yeah.
But when I was like 1 year old, like when I was really young, my mom moved back to Jamaica to work with the family business.
Okay.
And ever since I was there until I was like 17. And I lived in a couple other places. I lived in the Bahamas for a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, until I was like 17, I never came back to Canada. So I didn't know what Canada was really like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't until I came here when I was 17 and I went back to London. I was like, okay, now I'm getting a different type of experience. You know what I mean?
Okay, so until 17, you were where were you?
I was in Jamaica.
Okay. So, but like, why Jamaica? The family business, you said.
Yeah, the family business there. My family is Jamaican.
Okay. Yeah. Because you have the accent, so I was confused.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, because as you're like growing up, the accent is going to be like embedded in you, right? Mm-hmm. And what was the family business? The family business.
Well, for those that don't know, I don't think you know. Mm-hmm. The family business is the Bob Marley Foundation. My mom was running that at the time. My mom was running the Bob Marley Museum.
Oh, sick.
For a while. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
How did that happen? So you do. So I was gonna ask, like, if you had any music, like, in your family and like in your background.
That's the music in my family background.
Oh fuck.
Bob Marley is my grandfather. My mom Stephanie.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's where the connection is.
Bro, okay, I'm trying to think of this movie.
Shutters?
Yes,
Fire
bro.
movie,
Bro,
classic movie.
That movie fucking, like, I remember that shit.
Yeah, man. Like, that's some, I think there's only like really like maybe 4 classic Jamaican movies.
Right.
Third World Cup. I think another one's called Dancehall Queen. But Shutters is like the one, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of my favorite movies for sure.
Bro, I remember because I have a lot of cousins in Toronto, and that's how I found out the movie.
They force you to watch it.
Yeah. They're just like, bro, you gotta watch this.
You have to be on this. Can we cuss?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, we're yeah.
Bro, like I said, this is it's kind of like a personal project. So like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just, I'm just recording conversations. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you like around the Marleys growing up?
Yeah. They're family. So, you know, I'd see them like every once in a while. You know, I was living in Jamaica, so they would come down to Jamaica, or I'd go to wherever they were at, which sometimes they were in the States. I have family everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
of course,
very close with them. International, literally.
Yeah. But you're not first generation, are you?
I'm third generation.
Third generation.
Yeah. So we're in the 3rd generation now. We're actually in the 4th generation now. Mm-hmm. We're starting to have some great grandkids come along, which is pretty sick, man. Honestly, it's like, it's dope to see the kids growing up now. It's making me feel old. You know what I'm saying? To like, now I'm
crazy,
bro. I just became an uncle. Like my older brother just had a... Did you?
Yeah. But
congratulations.
Well, I don't have like a lot of brothers. I have one older sister, but like all of my cousins, like they're basically my brothers because like growing up, like I'm always in Toronto, and like I have like a lot of like guy cousins in Toronto and like girl cousins in Toronto, and like my brother figures were like my cousins growing up.
Right.
And as first generation immigrants, right? Like I'm first generation. My parents immigrated here. As naturally, you're gonna be closer to your family. So like I'm lucky that I have that like support system and that family around me.
Yeah.
And like now they're having kids, you know. So like I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What's going on?
We're all
here?
like around the same age, so like everybody's like starting to like get married, have kids. Like it's insane.
Yeah. If you don't want me to ask, I'll say my age. I'm 26. How old are you?
I'm 28.
You're 28. Yeah, man. It's like it's really at that age now where everyone's everyone's doing that, bro. You know what I mean? Everyone's getting married, having kids.
Yeah, all of a sudden, all your social media.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, and it's crazy because it's like seeing a baby that wasn't here yesterday and now is here. It's like it blows my mind.
These two people, like it's insane. Like you're like these two people just created a human,
created a life,
and like now this thing is gonna like live a whole ass life in this.
It's gonna have a whole personality in a couple years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It blew my mind to really watch that happen for my brother. Congratulations to him as well. You know what I mean?
That's good though. So that means you're like close with the kid growing up and shit. So
yeah. No, my niece, man, my first niece.
So do you guys like? Does your family make it a point to like get the family together pretty often?
Every once in a while. I feel like the most important, like the event that we all get together for, I'd say there's two. One is Kaya Fest, which is thrown by my uncle, my Uncle Steve. I want to say that's correct. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm sure someone will correct me.
Right. It's in Jamaica?
It goes between LA and Miami.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1 year it'll be in LA, so 1 year it'll be, I should say California.
Is it kind of like a festival?
It's kind of like a festival.
Okay, cool.
It's a sick festival, man.
Bro,
like I don't think there's been one since we've gotten back from COVID, but I'm waiting because I've been to two and it's like some of the most fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's rare to have like I don't know if that falls into Afrobeats events, but like it's probably more of like a reggae event, right?
It's more of a reggae event.
Yeah. But like it's rare to see like Afrobeats events because that's like a thing now, right? And there's Afro Nation, but like they don't really come to North America. So like, I feel like there's like a misconnect there too. But I feel like it's because the rest of the world is just now catching on to Afrobeats. So they're still wondering how they can. Some people are wondering how they can support it. Some people are wondering how they can get their piece of the pie out of it. Of course,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
there's always the capitalism side.
There's always someone like, yo, I can make money off of this. You know what I mean? But there's also people who are genuinely like, yo, I love this genre. I'm glad that everyone else is listening to it, and I want to contribute.
So how did you connect with Banks and Ranks? Because that's how we met you through their event. And
the event yesterday that we went to.
Yeah, that was sick.
Was absolutely lit.
Fucking great music, bro.
Way too much liquor. Yeah, man. But the event was dope. I got connected to Banks and Ranks. Honestly, obviously we have the mutual connection through the label Universal Music Canada. And the first time I'd worked with them, I feel like we're coming up to a year now, maybe, of me knowing them. We just got into the studio, we made 2 bangers, and we just immediately knew that like this is great because they're all about like ECM, you know what I mean? Like electronic Caribbean music. And they have a deep love. They were telling me stuff about dancehall and reggae that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like
no, they're OGs. They've seen some shit.
They do their research, you know what I mean? And like they were there for a lot of it. So the connection was just immediate, and the music that I've made with them, I think we got like 6 tracks now together.
I was going through your social media, and you guys have this like series where it's like, oh, what are you feeling? What do you feel like making today? And then you just have like an idea, and then is that all like content strategy shit, or is that just kind of like? I
didn't know that we were going to do that until like we started on the first day, and then it was kind of like a joke. Like Yannick was just like, like talk to the camera, tell them what we're gonna do, see how it works, and then we did it. And Yannick was like, all right, let's vibe out, let's do a little dance or something. And people really liked it. Like we were just like, okay, well, I'm here for another 2 days. Let's just do it straight for the rest of the days. Right. And that was my first time being in Montreal too.
Okay.
That trip, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man.
How do you like it so far?
Montreal, I fucking love it,
This is your
bro.
second trip, right? You said?
This is my second trip, yeah. And I think I'm coming back again very soon. So we'll link up again when I come back.
Of course, bro.
Don't know.
Like I said, I throw a lot of parties here.
Like, I'm sad I'm not gonna be here for the Halloween party, man.
All good,
just push that back like a week and I'll be able to make it. You see me?
I might throw another one just for you, bro.
that'd be really nice of you,
bro.
Man.
Like I said, I do live sets, so like any reason to throw another live set, I'm down.
Jeez, yo, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Maybe we can that would actually be a sick idea. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, Montreal, fucking love it here. Fucking love it here, bro. It's crazy.
So like, how did you connect with Universal? Like before even meeting Banks and Rex, like how did that whole connection happen? How did they find you, or did you find them? Like what happened?
So they found me. How it really happened was that Tough Gang came to me. I'm also signed to Tough Gang Collective.
That was first, I guess.
That was first.
Okay.
They reached out to me. I didn't really know that an opportunity was going to be offered out of it. They were just like, hey, we'd love to hear some music. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like, here's a couple of songs that I have in the vault. And they were like, oh yeah, we like this. And then a couple of weeks later, they were like, hey, would you be interested in a deal? And I was like, and it was my first time getting offered a deal. And I thought about it for a while, you know what I mean? Because it was like a big opportunity. I'm so grateful for Tough Gang, and I'm so grateful for Universal Music Canada, because they've brought the talent that was King Cruff to the light, you know what I mean? Like this talent that people have been telling me for years, like, yo, you're different. Yo, you have star power. They just took that star power and put it in front of people now, and people are gravitating towards it. If it's genuine and it's meant to happen, and we can make it work for everybody, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? And as long as it's positive and I'm not hurting nobody, I'm not hurting myself. Like, and my music is here to spread joy and positive messages only. You know what I mean? I'm on that.
That's interesting. So that's your purpose is like to spread positivity and joy.
Of course.
So like, when did you like start music? Because you're around it growing up, I'm assuming. And
yeah,
like, you already know, like growing up, like your grandfather or your great grandfather.
Grandfather. Yeah.
Damn, I thought I was older.
Nah, bro. Just one generation.
Yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, your grandfather is Bob Marley. Like, is that like? Do you feel like that was playing like something into you to like get into music? Like what sparked that?
Not necessarily. Like it was never like my uncles and my aunties and my mom was never like, hey, you're a Marley, so you're gonna do music. It was never like that. It was like you kind of have to find your own route to the music. You know what I mean? And I tried music when I was very young. And I was okay. You know what I mean? I was a kid trying out music. And then eventually I was just like, I don't really think like this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? And then you kind of have to. When I was a kid, bro, I was
like, you're only realistic like that when you get older, though.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you think? What do you mean?
Like you only get to that point where like I don't think like I'm gonna do music when you're like older and like you gotta be responsible and like gotta pay bills.
You gotta worry about money.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, bro? Is that like since I was a kid, I've always been creative. And I've always tried creative things. I always tried drawing, painting, writing stories, And the things that I was like, oh yeah, this is dope, I like this, I continue doing. And the things that I knew weren't in my field, I like
dropped it.
I dropped it, you know what I mean? Like I can't draw. Like I've tried so many times. Like I used to draw comic books and the stories were dope, but the drawings look like ass, you know what I mean? So like I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be me drawing the comic book, you see me? But music, it was like, and the music that I was making wasn't bad, but it was just like, it wasn't what I was hearing my uncles and my aunties doing, which was like this amazing, like generational talent. So just like, I'm cool on this. I don't have to be a musician. Like my family has musicians everywhere, you see me? So I was cool with that. But I feel like what had happened was that later on, in Jamaica, hip hop was finding its way. Like the internet was becoming more of a thing. The internet was becoming the way that people discovered music. Yeah. And me and my friends were starting to get more into the hip hop late blog era, where it was kind of like the Kendricks and the J. Cole's and the Tyler the Creators and those types. That was becoming more and more prevalent. And we just started like writing raps for fun. And then there was this school project that my science teacher pulled up and was like, hey guys, write a rap. Or no, she was just like, do something creative about science, you know what I mean? Bro, and I don't know where that rap is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's terrible. But
was it recorded?
It wasn't recorded, but we had to perform it.
Oh, okay.
And
okay. There's no smartphones back then?
No smartphones back then. What was this? This was when BlackBerry was the thing.
This is like Sony Ericsson times, right?
Sony Ericsson.
Remember the Ericsson, like the slide out keyboard?
Yeah. We didn't have back in Jamaica, bro. That was the era when everyone had a BB, a BlackBerry. You see me?
BBM,
BBM. You see me? Throwback. But yeah,
fucking the alerts. what was that thing?
You remember Brick Breaker? You remember playing Brick Breaker
and Snakes, right?
Yeah, was Snakes on the BlackBerry?
Yeah,
Snakes was on the Nokia.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I think so.
Yeah. My memory, bro. That's the thing. Like, there's also the what do you call it? It's the effect where like you remember something a certain way, but like when you look back at it now, it's like completely different.
I know what you're talking about. The Mandela effect? The Mandela effect. Yeah, that's what it is.
I feel like that's what's happening to me.
There's another one too. There's what's it called? The Bernstein Bears effect. You ever hear that one?
But isn't that like kind of a Mandela effect?
It's the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. Where you're like, oh, I thought it was that, but then you go back and it's like it wasn't
what was
that
the
actually.
Bernstein Bears one again?
It was. I think people used to think that the Bernstein Bears was spelt a certain type of way.
Oh yeah, it was the spelling of it. Yeah,
and then when they went back, they were like, it was never spelt that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you on TikTok?
Fairly.
Okay.
More than I want. You know what? Let me not say that. I love TikTok. You know what I mean? Let me be diplomatic.
You gotta find your audience. You know? You gotta find your audience, bro. But like, I know you're not into like TikTok, but I'm saying like, if you're on it, because you need to be on it,
right?
Are you able to are you like consuming the content, or do you have like a strict regimen of like, oh, I'm only here for work, like I'm not gonna let this distract me?
I find myself consuming the content like it's social media, man. So you get trapped into it very easily.
So that's why I was interested, because like that's like the best like version of something that could like trap you in,
right?
And even if you don't want to, before you could understand that, your brain's already on autopilot. So you have no control. Yeah,
you're just like,
so if you're going to be like, nah, it's just working, put it away. I was going to be like, yo, how do you do that?
And remember, this algorithm is curated to show you shit that you like. You know what I mean?
It's curated to you.
So it's like, so it's like, you're like, oh, I like this, like this TV show or something. You know what I mean?
You don't even have to interact. You just watch it for 1 second longer.
Yeah.
It's going to already know you. Like, it's fucked up.
But one thing I will say about TikTok, because I know TikTok is low-key like the bane for every musician, but when a musician finds out how to use that shit, it's great things can come from it.
Even though we have TikTok and you can find your audience in other ways nowadays, there's still that aspect of it. Like, we met because of the Banks and Rank show.
Right.
So you got to be out there. You got to be talking to people. You got to have that. Like, we had an interaction. I was like, okay, I would love to talk to this person on my podcast.
With respect for coming up to me and talking to me, bro. Because I'm like, when I'm at those type of events, I really...
Same. I'm there like solo because I'm like there to take pictures, and I'm like I know Damiano, I know everybody, you know, like I'm like chilling with them, but like
Whitney, shout out Whitney. Yeah,
shout out Whitney. Yeah,
love that guy.
Yeah, he's fucking. Even him, like he's chilling, having a good time, but he's on it. He's like watching the cameras, making sure
he's working. Yeah.
Everybody come upstairs, we're gonna take pictures.
Yeah, he's content.
Yeah. No, I love that. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm in the same boat. Like, that's why I saw you, and I was like, "Hey, this guy's chilling." And then, like, they also brought you up too. So, like, for me, to be honest, I was just curious. I was like, "Oh, like, this guy looks chill. He's vibing. Let me talk to him. Let's see what happens."
Fair. And it's funny because, my plan was, so I booked to stay in Montreal for 2 days. 1 day to do the Banks and Ranks thing, and the next day I was just open, and it was just like maybe an interview will come up.
I saw you've been on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is sick. Like, this is like a part of your content strategy, and like I love that because like people get to understand you better when you're talking and like having like long form conversations, you know?
Because I feel like for me, when it comes to content, is that like I'm not bad at it, but it's not where my creativity lies. But I do feel like I have things to say, you know what I mean? And I feel like if the goal is for people to learn my personality, may as well just come to the source, which is me just talking, you know what I mean? And shooting the shit like we said.
100%.
So yeah, I feel like podcast isn't really like a part of the strategy. I just get pulled for them a lot, but I do enjoy being on there.
Like I guess you just manifest it.
Yeah, I think people look at me and they're just like, this guy has something to say.
Yeah.
Let's bring him on the podcast. Let's put a microphone in front of his face.
Yeah. But I've had some guests on that came on, like San, he's from Philadelphia.
Mm.
His career blew up when he left the city because he's like, that's like a normal part of being an artist. You have to like leave, make it somewhere else.
Facts.
And then all of a sudden, like your city's just like,
oh yeah, we rep that guy. Like that's our guy.
Yeah. All of a sudden, right?
Facts.
So that's
facts.
like a common thing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's unfortunate though in like Montreal, because first of all, some of the sickest Canadian acts come out of Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? K-Tronada and Zach Zoya come to mind. You know, and
That's
obviously nobody like. It sucks because nobody should feel like they need to be tied down to a place. Mm-hmm. Like obviously one of the goals for doing this is so that we can travel and see the world on the thing that we love, you know what I mean? Which is music. But I do feel like that feeling of like, I can't blow up if I stay here. That's not a good thing to feel, you know what I mean? Especially in a place like Montreal, man, because I fucking love it here, dog. I'm only here for 2 nights and I'm having a great time already. You see me? Mm-hmm. The place is beautiful. Everywhere is artsy. Everyone looks cool, but everyone's been so nice too. But then again, I'm in tourist mode right now. You know, I don't live here.
You're here temporarily.
I'm here temporarily. You know what I mean? So like, I'm the person that they look at and they're like, yeah, that guy don't speak French. You see me? They can see it on me. So
have you been up north yet of Quebec?
Never.
Okay.
Never, bro.
You'll see the other side when you go.
What's the other side?
It's like refusal to speak English.
They're like, nah, you're gonna learn it.
You could be like confused and be like, sorry, what? And they'll just like keep drilling that French, like
until you give them some response.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like every time I come up here, I'm always just like, I need to learn French. I used to take French classes when I had the option to either take Spanish or French. I took French in high school because I was like, I'm going to move to Canada. And in Canada, they speak French.
So this is high school in Jamaica?
This is high school in Jamaica.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And shout out Madame Igby, who was my French teacher. Bro, I moved to Ontario and nobody spoke French.
Yeah,
so I was like,
Ontario.
You know what I'm saying? and I was like, I don't need this. And now I'm coming to Montreal more often and I'm like, I definitely needed it. You know?
I mean, not really. Because like even me, like I grew up in like the English side of Montreal called the West Island, and like you could like everybody, you go to like half and half, so you go to like bilingual elementary, right? So it's supposed to be like 50% French, 50% English, but realistically everybody around you is speaking English. You're talking to the teachers in English. You have one class a day that's in French,
right?
So naturally, like you're gonna speak the language that's surrounding you at all times.
Of course,
you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I have some friends that are from like more like French areas of Montreal, and they only learned English when they got to Cégep. So you could kind of see an accent in them, but English is way easier to learn. So like it's smarter to just be all French at first and then just learn English afterwards.
Facts, man. I think so. I don't know. I'm gonna have to download Duolingo or something.
Duolingo, yeah. Duolingo is fucking. Their marketing is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've been.
I know, but my girl like is on it. You know what I mean? So clearly they're doing something right. Who's texting me? I'll get back to that later. You see me?
I love that.
I named some Montreal names, some Quebec names, and I didn't say Banks and Racks. So shout out to the boys.
But they're not even from Montreal. They're just like stationed here, right?
Soki, I want to get this correct. Soki is from Montreal and Yannick is from Guadeloupe.
I don't know that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what they told me.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel bad, man. I feel like I keep forgetting what my friends and family is.
Bro, everybody's busy. Also, like, think about it. You're like meeting so many people in a day. Like, your brain only has the capacity to remember a certain amount of names, you know?
Facts.
It's just like a natural human thing. Like, unless we're connected to AI, like, we can't change that.
Nah, bro. We only have a certain like RAM storage.
That's exactly it, bro. Does that make you ever think that like we are AI?
What kind of podcast is this? We're going deep.
Have you ever thought of that though? Like, have you ever had those kind of like
we could be living in a simulation, like Matrix type shit?
Kind of shit?
Yeah. But I've also been like, if that's the case, like, what would that change? You know what I mean? Like, would that change how I feel about my friends and family?
Would it change your purpose?
Would it change my purpose? I don't think so. So whether or not we're living in a simulation I think that's fine.
That's true, because your purpose is more about like joy and having good experiences. And that's like. Yeah,
my purpose is
forever.
I feel like my purpose is just being free, man. I feel like music is my key to freedom. You know what I mean? I don't know necessarily what that means.
That's why it translates through your music.
Yeah,
when you listen to your music, that's what I'm feeling. You know
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Appreciate that,
bro.
man.
I was like fucking. I just went Spotify. King Cruff. Well, how do you say it?
King Cruff.
King Cruff. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah. King Cruff, and I just like went like like shuffle play, and like there was no like misses. Like everything was like I'm feeling a vibe.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear.
But that's
Sorry,
rare.
I got very aggressive a while ago. Sorry.
No, I love that. No, but that's rare. Like I feel like you have a rare ability to like be able to just like produce shit. Like things just come out of you kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How long does it usually take you to like make a song?
It depends, man, because as of lately now, when I'm in the studio, we make the song straight from scratch. Beforehand, I would get the beat first always, and then
Are you like aware that there's gonna be a session like this?
What do you mean?
Like you're like that this is about to come up. So like, are you in your head like, okay, like I'm already mentally preparing to like?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
If I'm going in a session, I'm like, maybe I'll try and come up with some broad ideas beforehand. Maybe I'll try and figure out what I like going into the studio with is like, it's just like maybe a tagline, maybe a word, definitely a story, and definitely like an idea of like how I feel or how I felt about something, because that's usually going to be like the driving part of the song. You know what I mean? So those are some things that I keep in mind going into a session.
Did you ever have those like typical creative ruts where like nothing is coming to you?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Because I feel like some people just never like, I don't know, maybe like I've only consumed your content, so like I don't know much about you in that sense, but like it's rare that you could just always like be like producing shit like that, you know?
Yeah. I try and give myself the benefit of the doubt, because when you can't make shit, like when the writer's block hits you, it hurts. You know what I mean? It hurts differently, especially when.
Do you feel like stressed to like figure it out? Or?
Definitely, bro. Because music is like my purpose. You know what I mean? So it's like when I can't deliver that, I'm kind of have a mode of like, damn, like, am I doing this correctly? Like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? But at the same time, like, there's so many different facets to music that sometimes if one thing isn't working, then I just focus on the next thing. If I'm not in the studio a lot, I tend to try and perform as much as possible. You know what I mean?
Presence?
Like stage presence, like being on a stage, interacting with my crowd. I love performing. I think it's probably my favorite part of the music, because that's when you're like actually sharing it and like you can see people react in real time.
Yeah, real time.
Yeah, man. Especially when people don't know you, because you can tell when people don't know the music and they're seeing, oh my God, like this is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a natural reaction.
Yeah. So yeah, man, the writer's block happens, but I've been doing this for a while, so I feel like I kind of figured out how to deal with it. I keep moving this mic. I hope that's okay.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. But yeah.
It's the King Cruff episode, you see me?
Yeah, for real. But like, that's the thing. So, what's your, like, do you have like a long-term vision? Like, do you have a game plan? Like, I'm always curious about that. And like, do you always think, like, since I'm in marketing, I always try to figure out like the artist's like marketing sense of mind, and like, do you have like some kind of game plan for that? Like, do you have like a vision? Do you have like that 5-year plan, or are you just kind of like going with the flow right now?
I mean, there are certain things that I want to see happen for myself. I'm debating whether or not I want to say it out loud, because sometimes when you say things out loud, you manifest it. But also, like J. Cole said, you know what I mean? J. Cole said, like, you get it.
Yeah. You're tricky. You're gonna tell your brain that it already happened, and you're gonna fuck yourself up.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Or even like sometimes when people know your dreams, like what J. Cole said, man, if they don't know your dreams, they can't shoot them down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no evil eye.
Yeah, no evil eye. You see me? No red eye. That's what we say. You see me?
Okay, sick.
But I do definitely, the one thing that I want for sure in this career is longevity. I'm in it for the long haul. It's been a lot of work.
Is there part of that like you wanting to carry that like Marley name? Do you have a purpose in that?
I want to contribute. I want to make my contribution to it for sure, because it's a part of my legacy and it's a part of who I am, and it's a part of my upbringing. It's a part of my everything. But I also just want to be great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to fail. Like, I don't think anybody really wants to fail when they really love doing something. And I want to be able to not have to worry about bills or taxes. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that if I can take care of my family, I can do that at the drop of a hat. And I've chosen music to be my career path. So I'm gonna stand by it and work as hard as possible to make sure that happens. You know what I mean? So a specific 5-year plan, maybe not exactly what I'd call it, but there is a plan in motion, and it's music, man. And it's one of those things where things change at the drop of a hat. So you have to learn how to pivot and improvise.
Right now you're in a position where like, you're flexible. You're ready to relocate. You're ready to go anywhere. Like,
yeah, I'm not trying to be too rigid when it comes to it. You know what I mean?
I love that, bro.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Bro, on that note, I feel like we could.
Is this it?
I feel like we could end it here.
All right.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I don't know. I had a great time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Bro, I'm so grateful you came, bro. It's crazy. Like, it was a conspiracy that you're a Marley, but now it's facts.
Now it's confirmed.
Yeah.
Bro, and to be honest with you, I feel like it was the fact that like I'd stayed for an interview that wouldn't happen and then you offered me one. That's just like, that's fate, bro.
It just happened. That's what I'm saying.
You see?
And like, to me, just talking to you just felt like it was more of like a need. It was just like, I need to talk to this guy, see what's up, you know?
Appreciate
bro,
that, man.
Like I said, anytime you're in Montreal, feel free. The house is open, bro.
Yeah, man.
Anytime you're
no, bro. And it's a lovely home too. This is a lovely setup as well, isn't it? Yeah, man. Always say, Lowkey, isn't it? Lowkey, Montreal. Know where it's at. Choo-choo. Yeah, man. This is great, bro.